We are live here in what is Cali Sun Studio. It's a mess back here, but you know what else is a mess? Tacos, and we still love them. I've been seeing that quote a lot. So welcome if you're just joining us. This is the Cali Sun Studio. We are making some art today, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things, like the love of Jesus, or and some other stuff. But I wanted to make some art here with you all and show you what I'm currently working on and what's going to be available to you all soon. We're going to make some stuff together. So I have the block that I'm going to use to. It is a noisy neighborhood. The block that I'm going to use to print, right? Whose art? My art. We are going to need block printing ink. I have a roller. I have some test paper. These few sheets are just going to be tests. And that's pretty much all we need. Actually, this block to press it down. And we're going to be making some in all of these wonderful autumn colors. And then we're also going to have a chat. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. So when you think of, quick question, familia. When you think of loving like Jesus loved, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? Does a verse come to mind? How do you love like Jesus? You know, how have you experienced that in your life? Do you know someone who exemplifies this, who loves like Jesus does? And then while you leave your comments, if you're watching this after it's already premiered, leave it in the comment section and then I'll go back and read it. Denise says, being genuine. That's right. Being genuine is a good one. If you just joined us, we're going to be making some art here. I'm going to be doing block printing. Let me see what... Where is it? Where's the live chat? Live chat. Come on. Okay, there it is. I remember printmaking lazy and used linoleum. I don't know about lazy, but it's relaxing for sure. Hello from Napa. Hi, Justine. Welcome. So the question is, I forgot how I worded it. What is it like loving like Jesus? Forgiving when you are lied on. Okay, yeah, forgiving, right? What are some of the examples of loving like Jesus? Do you know someone who loves like Jesus? This is what we're making. Let's see. Not sure anyone can love exactly like, right? But it's certainly something to strive for, right? That's what he wanted us to do, right? I literally just posted about how Jen Aldana has a heart for people just like Jesus. She's been such a blessing to me. Yes, she's a Christian singer. Her biggest song is Trust in You. Love it. So here, let me flip the camera back and show you what I'm working on. I've made these holders on the laser engraver, and I've added this at the bottom. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Love each other as I have loved you. So when you think of Jesus' love and how he loves you, what comes to mind? His command is that we love each other in the same way, or as he loved us. So what sorts of things come to mind? Let me know, and I'm going to start setting up the ink here. Let me flip the camera around. I'm going to try my best to look at some of your comments while I'm working on this. But yeah, let's get started. So for this, we're just going to use Speedball block printing ink. I love this ink. There are other inks that you can use, but this was my favorite. kind of the standard for this. Everything's speedball. Speedball, linoleum blocks, and speedball rollers, and all kinds of stuff. But I'm not sure that this is a speedball roller. I forgot where I got this roller from, but so the question is, when Jesus said, "My commandment is this: love each other as I have loved you," what comes to mind? How do you feel? How has Jesus loved you specifically? Can you tell me? How does Jesus show his love for you? How does he show you that he loves you? I guess this is probably a good time for me to share my story. A lot of you already know this story, or at least the major pieces to it. Every once in a while I'll throw in something new. But I used to be Catholic. I grew up in a Catholic church, and I used to play guitar. Not always, though. After my grandfather passed away, I got involved more and more in the church. And to be honest, I didn't get involved with the church because I loved going to church. In fact, growing up, I had a bad experience with churches, with going to church with my mom, because if I was talking to my sister or my brother, I'd get pinched. I'd get pinched, and then I get that look that says, "Watch when we get home," because I wasn't quiet, or I was calling too much attention to myself. Not that I was a bad kid. I wasn't really a bad kid. But it wasn't until my grandfather taught me how to play guitar that I really wanted to get involved, and I started playing at the church and going more than just once a week. I would often play in 2 different masses, and then I'd play for like some of the what are they called? Retreats. Some of the retreats, and little by little just got more and more and more involved. Actually, this is before my grandfather passed away. He taught me how to play guitar at age 14, and I knew all my chords. I started playing at the church when I came back from Mexico, and then when I went back at age 15, he taught me some more stuff. I came back, I was still playing guitar. When I returned at age 16, that's when he passed away. And then I had some questions, because I was experiencing what I thought was my grandfather because of a conversation that I had with God. When my grandfather passed away, I asked if he could please have my grandfather still look after me, even in the afterlife, because he was like my guardian here. And I got a pretty clear yes from God that he was going to take care of me. When I shared this with an uncle of mine who's a Jehovah's Witness, he said, no, God doesn't do those kinds of things. That's the devil's work. He threw me into confusion, and when I asked the priest if this was true, the priest kind of didn't really know how to answer me, how to respond to that. And so he started looking at me differently. He started treating me differently, for sure. That came out nicely, by the way. This is just a test print. We're going to test one more in this sort of smaller, clear yellow. And then we're going to get to working on the autumn color ones that are here. I have an orange, yellow, a yellow, a green, and like a dark orange red. Beautiful colors. So when the priest started treating me differently, I started going deeper into this confusion, because it's like This man is supposed to represent God. And rather than bringing me closer, he's pushing me away. And part of that is my fault because I let this doubt creep into my mind, you know? But I was young. I was young and I still didn't know how my mind and my thoughts worked and how my emotions worked. So I was very, I would say gullible and easily persuaded. And well, when I was playing at church one day, the priest just kept staring at me, and I guess he didn't like the way that I was playing. So he threatened to kick me out of the church. And I didn't take that very kindly. Well, because the church was like my second home, you know? I liked going there. Sometimes I would show up before anybody would show up, and it was very peaceful and quiet. And I loved having those little moments, just me and God. And when the priest threatened to kick me out, it didn't feel like home anymore. It didn't feel peaceful anymore. It felt hostile, and it felt, I don't know, like, if this man is representing God, then it must mean that God didn't want me around. So I started questioning whether or not God was real. And then I left the church and identified as an atheist. Look at that, it's beautiful. I identified as an atheist, and well, those were not my best years. But the way that Jesus still showed me that he loved me was interesting, because every time that I was in some kind of a bind, he would still show up. I can't tell you how many times I was in a place where I could have been in deep trouble, either gotten robbed or beat up, you know, and thankfully I wasn't. And it's, you know, dozens of times where my family needed help and God came through. Plenty of times where I didn't know what to make of certain situations and how to think, what to think about certain situations. And even as an atheist, it was interesting to know that God was still there. I was a bad atheist. I was terrible at atheism, for sure. I was terrible at atheism. What kind of an atheist still has conversations with God? You know? Obviously, I wasn't an atheist. I was just mad. I made him my enemy, and he still showed up. I cursed his name, and he still showed up. I was absent, and he still showed up. I thought that I was independent, and he still provided. I thought that I could, you know, wish my things into existence, and he still provided. I thought surely if sorry, my neighbors are putting solar panels, and they're being louder than they were earlier today. Could it be, I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Like, where you're doing something good, you're trying to have a conversation with La Familia. You think the devil really shows up? You think the devil shows up and is like, I'm gonna make some noise here so you don't actually have this conversation with people? Do you believe that? Do you believe that he's always trying to interrupt and God is trying to work? And I don't mean me, by the way. I'm not saying I'm God. I'm saying we're trying to do some good stuff here. All right, so this is the first one, and they are going to be numbered. Might have made this one a little too low, but I'm just going to number it down here. I'm going to put one of, and then later I'll add how many I did, and then I'll write it again in the back once the ink dries. And then for anyone who's wanting to collect these, you'll know which number you got. So anyway, my point to that story is that God showed up even when I wasn't there for him. That's how I show up for people. That's how I think I love people, is even when they're against me, even when they're not for me, and Erica can vouch for me on this, even when people are against me, I still show up for them. Put that one down right there. I always show up for people even when they're not my friends. And you hear a little pain in my laugh there because, well, it does. It hurts. It hurts to be there for people and then have them not show up for you, but that's just who I am. I show up. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm reading your comments. You know, in the reaction that I had. What's it called? Truth be told, there are a lot of people who are hurting right now. And if Familia, if we can please show up for each other, I would really, really appreciate it if you all watch that video and just read through the comments and show up for someone, you know. Some of you are really good at encouraging others, and there are a lot of people who need encouragement right now. There are some of you who have lost someone in your life, and you understand that pain. Sorry, some of the ink is not showing up, but if that's okay with you, that's what you're gonna get. It's an original. I'll try to do better on the next ones, but oh. This is two of. I am gonna go back and look through the live chat, by the way. So if you want to say something, you're more than welcome to. There are a lot of people that need you, you know, like my MJ, I believe you're on here, man. Like, you were going through a really tough time, and you wanted to hear that. You wanted me to hear that song, and I'm really glad that I did, because as simple as it may sound, like some people just reduce what I do to like the simplest terms and say, big whoop, you know, you're just reacting to music. And yeah, I would have quit a long time ago if I saw it that way. But there's more to it than that, you know. There are people here who show up who need this. There are people who show up who need someone to talk to. There are people who need just the words that I had to say to my friend, MJ, at the right time. So many people were in the comments right now for that video are saying things like, I needed this morning, or I needed to hear this. I recently lost my loved one, and I needed this, and that's what we're here for. Maybe we're here for each other. We're not alone. Despite what I used to think as an atheist, that I was doing things on my own, that was probably the biggest lie that I was telling myself at the time. I was never alone. Yes, when I had my conversation with God, with the Father, He reminded me that I belong to no one but Him. And I still have to remind myself that sometimes. I still need that reminder, that kick in the rear, that I don't belong to anyone here. So when some of these comments get out of hand, and I get people who are a little bit out of hand in their comments towards me, negative towards me, I gotta remind myself, I don't belong to these people. I don't belong to them, and they don't belong to me. They are free as I am free. I belong to God. and only to Him. And my only job is to be obedient to whatever it is that He wants me to do. Sometimes He just wants me to be quiet, yeah. Other times He wants me to talk. I think the thing that really helped, and quite frankly, honestly, I'm just gonna go out and say that maybe God wanted me to be an atheist for a bit, because I learned a lot. I know what that's gonna sound like, and I'm probably gonna be on somebody else's page saying, Leo says that atheism helped him, or that God wanted him to be an atheist. But hear me out. Spending that time alone, learning things about myself, learning how my mind works, learning the difference between my own thoughts and the thoughts of the world, learning to hear His voice over the voice of negativity, learning to hear His loving voice over the hateful voice of the dark one. Sounds like a little mouse. And now coming back to Him, it's very different. It's very different. Because I believe, correction, I know wholeheartedly the difference between His voice and my own. And I love that I know the difference now. Because I don't think I'll ever act and say that God told me to do this or God told me to do that, and then be wrong about it. Because I paused. I took a huge pause to make sure that the voice is loving, because that's how I tell the difference. The voice is loving, it builds, it creates. It works in favor of others to I guess to love God back, love the Father, you know? It all returns to Him anyway. Oh, I love this color. I love this color. So if you just joined us, like, here again, tell us how you experience the love of Jesus and how you can love like Jesus does. You know what? I might have to start all over again because I'm not sure I like how this is coming out. So let me see here. I think I need to clean this. See, the ink is looking kind of thick. I need to fix this. Oh man. Have y'all been following my Instagram and my TikTok? I've been painting people's curbs, their curbs with the numbers on their addresses. I have a lot of fun doing that. I love doing this. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in frame, but it's kind of hard. Anybody want to share how you experienced His love? How it shows up in your life? Is it weird now that I'm coming on here now talking more about God than I did before? It's funny how I'm still getting comments of people like asking me to give my life to Jesus on my older videos. And I'm sitting there saying, hey, this video is 2 years old, man. This is how it started. This is not where I am now. Is it weird? All right, let's try this again. Sorry, trying to clean this up as much as I can. It's not weird at all. I love it. I also laugh at the old comments. Sometimes I take the time to answer, but mostly I ignore. You know what? Honestly, I try my best to answer as many as I can. And I try to do so politely. Lately, the comments that are sort of gotten to me a little bit are the people who are a little bit on the rude side, and they say things like, would you stop talking? Or, you talk too much. Or, I'm trying to hear the song and you won't let me hear the song. Or one of my favorite ones was like, this video would be great if all the blabbering would just stop or something like that. And I'm like, come on! It's a reaction video. It means I have to react. I don't think you all would appreciate it very much if I'm just sitting there, just, you know, smiling or staring off or something. I don't know. Yeah. I try to stay away from those comments. I try to be as polite as I can. If they're rude, I might answer, but then I eventually delete the comments. Also, lately, I've been deleting anything that's been overly negative, you know, just either towards Hillsong. I have nothing against Hillsong. I'm not saying that people are wrong about what they have to say. But the truth is, I mean, I used to laugh at people who had those stickers in their car that said, what would Jesus do? Because I'm like, what would Jesus do, right? And it used to be funny to me as an atheist. But now I think about it and I'm like, yeah, what would Jesus do actually? What would Jesus do every single time that a church falls in some way? Or a Christian falls in some way? You know, would Jesus completely abandon them? Would he demonize them? Maybe, actually, he might call them heathens or demons. He was known to do that. But I don't know exactly how he would respond to something like that, but I could tell you that I know what he would respond with. And that's love. Like, that's the consistent thing about Jesus, I think, is that he always shows up with love. Always. Always ends up showing up with love. And in my humble yet accurate opinion, we should show up that same way. And it bothers me that people say, well, we're not God, so we can't. But So I don't know, are you saying we shouldn't try because we're not perfect, because we're not God, because we fail, because we fall, because we sin? We shouldn't bother even trying to do what God asked us to do? We shouldn't even bother trying to love one another, even though that is what He told us to do? I don't know. I'm all about obedience, and I don't know about disobeying Him. I feel like when someone says, well, we're not perfect, and so we can't love like Him because He's God and He's perfect, and only He can love that way. And I feel like you're saying we shouldn't obey Jesus when He said, my command is this, love each other as I loved you. Or when Jesus prayed to God, to His Father, and said, and asked His Father to dedicate us to Him. Dedicate them to yourself. And that He said, in order for them to have that eternal life, I dedicate myself to you so that they can, I'm paraphrasing here, but Jesus is saying that He dedicated Himself to the Father so that we can see His example, in other words, and dedicate ourselves to Him as well. So that we can, so that the love that the Father has for Christ can be in us. Jeez. So that we may all be one. We in Christ, and Christ in your Father, and the Father in us. Come on, man. And then I look out into the world and I look at how people are hurting each other, and man, that hurts my heart so much. I'm sorry to say it, but it even hurts me more from Christians than it does from people who are non-believers. Like, at least like the person who is an atheist hates people, and he knows that he hates that person because he doesn't know God. But to know God and to hate people, that doesn't fit. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? It's like knowing that, it's like buying a house that has a well and never drinking from it. Being thirsty all the time. It's like it's there, it's available to you. Why are you thirsty? It's like God is there, He's available to you. Why are you hateful? How's an atheist supposed to love God when the people who represent Him aren't loving? Like the priest. How was I supposed to love God when the man who was representing God was so unloving? I'll just say that. Who turns their back away from a child who is asking questions so that he can be closer to God? I mean, all I wanted to do was be closer to God. And my uncle, I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think there was any malice behind it. He's like my favorite person in the world. I mean, in my family. And So I don't think he meant anything bad by it, but I was confused. And I went to the person who was supposed to clear that confusion out, and instead he threw me into the abyss. Quite frankly, I hated him for that. I hated him, I hated God, I hated religion, I hated anything to do with the spiritual world. Hated it. Sorry, I'm cleaning out my roller here. So when I think back at that time when I was a kid in that church and that experience that I had with that priest, that's not what I think of when I think of God's love. When I think about God's love, I think about that slightly older kid who wept and cried out to God, asking God to please show him that he's there. Not through someone, not through something, but just him. And God showed up. I pulled him out of atheism. And left him like a blank canvas and said, "Don't paint anything, I'll be back." Isn't that what it's like sometimes though? Like God gives us a new blank canvas and he's like, "I'm gonna paint something awesome, hang on, I'll be back." And then we're like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get started." And we take paint and we try to paint our lives the way that we think we know better than he does. And then we wonder why we have a mess. We use the wrong ink. We use the wrong image as reference for our artwork. I learned that sometimes even the mind takes over and thinks that it knows what God wants for me. And I'm like, yeah, I know what God wants. And then I start acting on what I think, what my mind thinks God wants. And then I end up somewhere cold and in the dark somewhere. What do we do, you know? I got something. Somebody's gonna get a messy background here. Yeah. Okay. Erica just brought to my attention that some of you are asking about this artwork. Yes, they will be available. Right now I'm just working on this piece here, on this part. On this. Some ink is not gonna be on there. I'm gonna try my best to get that ink on there still so you can get a better piece here. But what I do is I'm adding a base to it so it can hang like this, you see? You can hang it on your wall. And it's got a message here that says, my command is this, love each other as I loved you. That's John 15:12. And they're gonna come in all these beautiful autumn colors. So that was the orange color, this is the yellow one. I'm making some in like this beautiful red color.
Matthew Savy wants one of those already.
Noted
that one down.
I think the best, and then I have this green, this beautiful green. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have, if you're interested in ordering one, you can email us.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be making the pieces as I go along. And then I'll ship them as the orders come in. Just to keep things uniformed. I was thinking about selling these at $33 each. And they will be numbered so you know that it's, you know, that I made it and it's made here. You're watching me make them. I'm not sure about shipping outside of the US for now, but I have to see how much shipping is going to be. I might include it in that 33, but what I want to do is I want to do something good with that money too. So maybe come this Christmas, maybe we could buy toys and donate them, or use the money for that to help some people, to feed some people on Thanksgiving maybe. Or this first few set that I make, I'm gonna use to buy more supplies because I need to buy more paper and more ink and all that. But yeah, they will be available. Just email us please at
What email?
Do the Tower of Torres.
So
Tower of Torres 33.
Tower of Torres.
33
At Gmail?
at Gmail.
Okay.
Yeah. At Gmail. And I want you to know that even the ones that I'm making outside of this, I make them in silence because I do like to think about the love of God, and I do love to maybe even listen to that prayer in John 17. I've heard that tons of times, so you know that as I'm making these, I'm praying for you all, and I'm hoping that when you put these in your wall, that prayer shines in your home or in your office or wherever you decide to place it, and that anybody who lays eyes on this can be touched in some way by the Spirit and be inspired more than anything to love like Jesus loved. Why? Can somebody please tell each other, I guess, why? Why is it important that we love like Jesus? And I'm not making this up. I'm not saying that I want you to do this. This is in the Bible. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. I'm taking that to mean that he wants us to love like he loved us. So love like him. Why? Why is that important? What would change? What would happen if we loved like he loves? Why do you think that was important for Jesus to say and to give as his most important command, to love each other?
Matthew Savy says, like all of God's commands, it is for our own benefit. We were created to love. When we walk in love, we are in harmony with our created purpose.
I love that.
Lori says, the world would be a beautiful place if that was the case. Mario says, because he created us. good ones.
Oh, this one's perfect. Look at that.
Ooh, that color looks really nice.
I love this color.
It's beautiful.
Autumn is Erica and my favorite season, and it's for this the yellows, the oranges, the red oranges, the deep purple colors on the leaves. Like, it's just so beautiful. So for autumn, I'm gonna make as many as I possibly can for this, and let's see, this is gonna be 5 of. What do you think? If you all start buying these, do you want me to send them out in the order that they were made, and you get whatever color it is, or should I let you all like ask for your 2 favorite colors? Maybe ask for 2, and I'll send your first one if it's available, and if it's not, I'll send you the next one until I make a new batch. But right now, so far, I've got this 33 sheets that are ready to go.
Matthew Sabi said he sent you $33.33 via Zelle.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll check it. I'll check it in a bit. But thank you. And then, if you can email me, I know you texted me an address, but when you email me, just tell me you want to get one. You can pay through Cash App, PayPal, or what's the other one? Venmo. And then email me your address, and I'll put one in the mail as soon as I possibly can. So right now I'm making the paper. I have to cut some more of these wooden frame, the holders, and then as soon as I piece it together, you'll have yours on the way.
How exciting.
Yeah. All right. No, maybe later we can make some custom ones. I'll make another one, and then if you want to add a different quote from the Bible, like a different scripture, we could do that. But for now, we're just gonna take that.
There's a few more comments of your question.
Okay.
Angela says it's always easier to remember or believe the negative. We have to be able to see through the lens of love.
Ooh, through the lens of love. I love that. We have to be able to see through the lens of love.
That's nice.
Now, when I think of that, I automatically think of that lens blocking off something. So what would it block? What sorts of things would be blocked? Like, it would obviously show you love, right? You'd be able to see through that lens and see all the love that's available in the scene, whatever it is that you're looking at. But what sort of things would be blocked off? If you throw on some glasses right now that let you see the world like Jesus saw the world, man, that would be amazing. First of all, but if you were to put on Jesus glasses and you'd see the world, so that means everything: the homeless, the sick, the lonely, the church. It's starting to look a little patchy, but this one is perfect. This one's great. You could see that the ink is lifting up a little bit. I have to wash this and let it dry probably. So the ink is coming on a little thick, but I love this one. This is a good one too.
It would block out shame.
Ooh.
And it would enhance compassion.
It would enhance compassion and block off shame.
That was from Matthew. That was from MJ.
MJ. Perfect. Beautifully said, Senor. So the first one that I made is this. I'm numbering them here, 1 of, I guess, 33. And then I will actually put my label in the back, my signature, and then what number you got. And then you can hang this in your home or your office, or give them away as a gift to someone. Oh, it's just beautiful, beautiful little decor.
Yes. Someone answer.
Yeah, if you have any.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. I know it's hot.
No, it's okay.
My garage is super hot.
I hope I pronounce your name right. Jaquez?
Yeah.
I think. I hope. I'm sorry. He said, because love is Christ, if he wants to spread his word, he would tell his disciples to love. But what's wrong with showing grace and love to people? And then we have 2 more who responded to your question. If you love, then you can hate or be selfish and be self-serving. You won't have fear or anxieties. All this, all this would not be possible if you love. Wait, I don't know if I read that right. As all this would not possible if you love.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be possible if
There you go.
That's great.
Yep. Jesus loved us unconditionally without reason. If everyone loved unconditionally, there'd be no hate and it would always be easy to forgive. Yeah.
I love that. Loving unconditionally. It's such a simple word. It means to love without any conditions, right? To not make it a transaction, to not make it like I love you because it's just I love you. Not I love you because you do this for me. Not I love you because you're kind, because you're nice, because you're there for me, because you hear me, because you're always not, like none of that. It's just I love you. That's it. Which means also that no bad conditions either. Like that I stop loving you because you're mean, because you're angry, because you stole from me, because you lied to me, because you cheated, because you crashed my car, because you ate my tacos, or anything like that, right? I'm gonna go wash this real quickly, but I'm gonna have Erica sit here and maybe talk to you about something. Is that cool, love?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave this so you don't get ink on yourself.
Matthew said it's funny because I don't know what to call him. I keep saying Matthew and then MJ.
MJ? Yeah.
It's just like not confused. I just.
It's
What
just
would?
so that people who
Oops,
are
sorry.
on here know
Just
who you're talking about.
yeah. What would you like me to call you, Matthew or MJ? And then I'll stick to that one. I don't really know what to talk about, but my phone is in the camera. Está bien. Yeah. Tengo una cita hoy. Sí. Sí. Vamos a saber si es niño o niña, pero nosotros no vamos a saber. Nomás mi hermana. Que lo vaya bien. Nos vemos.
Saludos,
Que lo vaya
tío.
bien el trabajo.
A ver.
Here, go ahead. Sorry for the noise. Leo's mom's leaving to work. Yo quiero niño.
All right, familia. So we're back. I just needed to wash this because the ink was getting a little bit too thick. And I'm gonna be heading out of here in a little bit. But I just wanted to read some more of your comments. So, what does that look like? Unconditional love. What does that look like?
Yeah, she's heading to work, MJ, but we'll let her know that you guys sent your love. Thank you for stopping by, Roxana. We love you.
What are they saying?
Let me see. Roxana's leaving. Joni Girl is new. She said, hi, I'm new to your channel. Glad I found you. Oh, somebody said, brother, if you use perspex or glass to roll out the ink, it will work much better.
Oh yeah, I know.
We're losing a lot of ink in the cardboard. It's
Yeah.
sucking up the ink, which makes the print patchy. God bless you.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I had a glass that I was using a while back. I don't know where it is, but yeah, you're right. You're right. I also had this plastic piece that was letting it work a little bit better, but I need to go. I need to go to the Home Depot
Oh,
and
my
get
goodness.
and get some glass. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. I remember.
He's just excited now because he has
Yep.
to go to Home Depot.
Yes, I think that's the reason why I did that to begin with. All right, so I think I'm gonna stop making them. You're right. I'm gonna grab a piece of glass soon. I'm gonna stop making them so that the following ones are looking a little nicer. I might actually have to remake them. I don't know if I'm good sending these out, but I've got a lot of projects that I'm doing here. I'm still doing the signs. I'm still doing shirts. I'm still making a lot of fun stuff. You can follow my other page.
The curbside.
Oh yeah, and I'm doing the curbside numbers. If you've seen that. Let's see. Let me flip the camera around and show you. Oh, Roxana left. She missed Reckless Love Hair.
She'll watch it most likely.
Yes, super exciting. Thank you so much for those of you who are interested in getting some. I like this one. This one actually came out really nice and clean. I might take my finger and maybe brush off some of this extra ink. I don't know if you could see that it's kind of coming up out of the page a little bit. Clean those up a little bit, and then we'll send these out.
Roxana, she's back. So I heard Home Depot. Now she's gonna see what you're hearing. Show her.
You heard Home Depot? The Home Depot. Erica loves it when I go to the Home Depot.
Which, yes, but I have not gone. I had not been taken to Target.
Oh.
A Target trip.
Anyway, people, thank you for
Hey.
showing. Come show your beautiful face. Look at that.
Hello.
Look at that. And I'm not sure if some of you know this or not,
Oh.
but there's a little baby Torres coming soon.
Yeah. In there.
We're on our way. We're gonna go do a 3D ultrasound to hear the baby's heart, and to see his or her beautiful face.
Yep.
Her sister's gonna know what the baby is, and then maybe for members only, we will do like a live.
I do want to do a live and to have them a part of it. Like,
Yeah, we'll do a live maybe for members on the channel on the 8th.
October 8th.
October 8th, we're gonna have a reveal party to find out whether we're having a taco or a flauta.
Taco or a flauta.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're really excited.
It's all new. It's kind of like interesting. I always like been around like my sister when she's like pregnant, and then like my mom was. My brother are 10 years apart, so it's a little different, like experiencing it. Cause I'm like, man, my back hurts. That I never like. I always thought like that they were just like, you're fine. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
no.
Stop being a little
Yeah.
wuss.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, but now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
I'm loving though that my hair is like grown so much. My nails, like all the natural vitamins. So, yeah, but.
Yep. All right, but so we're on our way out, familia. But thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for the wonderful conversation. I'm gonna go back and read through some of your comments. If you all can please do me a favor, and it's not really a favor for me, but I'm asking from the bottom of my heart. If you could please look through some of the comments and some of the videos, particularly Truth Be Told. That video has gotten so many different comments lately about people who are broken, who are hurting, who are in need of some kind of human contact, of some kind of uplifting message. And if you could be that messenger, if you can be that person who says, hey, please remember that, Jesus said in this, or however I'm not going to tell you what to do or what to say, but however you want to, I just really want these people to feel like they have someone, like they're not alone, like, maybe remind them of who they are and how special they are. That would mean the world to us. So thank you all so much, familia. I will see you.
Thank you.
Bye. on our next video. And then also, by the way, just so you know, I'm preparing for the Grinch reactions again.
Really?
And yes, and we're gonna see about letting the members and the Patreon partners pick the songs, and we're gonna do a song every day. But we're gonna probably be working one video ahead. I mean, 1 week ahead. So
like,
I might start recording them in November, and then releasing them December all the way up until Christmas. So we all love those Grinch reaction videos, and they're
I'm
gonna
excited.
they're gonna be back. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. I'll see you for sure now. Maybe do a countdown, Erica,
From what number?
from 10.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
If you have prayer requests, add them now.
4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.